like to be seated? And yes, you can.
No. One.
So, ladies and gentlemen, may I give you a warm welcome to Sandford Springs for the wedding of Stuart and Deborah. My name is Tony Morgan, and it's both my privilege and also my pleasure as well to be conducting the ceremony today. And while my colleague Jane Waterston has a much harder task of filling out the marriage register, which dates all the way back to 1837. So you're actually making a piece of history. Stuart and Deborah have chosen this day to confirm their commitment to each other both publicly and legally. And I'm sure they'd like to thank all of you for being here today to share in their joy as they exchange their vows and make their promises to each other. And we always start with a short definition of a marriage ceremony. The civil marriage ceremony is the exchange of vows by two declarations. The first is where you declare that you're free to marry, so that's the declaration to everyone. And the second is your moment, when you say to one another that you'll take one another for husband and wife. But before we proceed, if anyone here knows of any lawful reason why Stuart James Mitchell and Deborah Ann Hawkes may not be married, they must now declare it. This place has been authorised by law for the celebration of marriages, and marriage in this country is the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. So you'll be pleased to know that's the end of the boring definition. Bob, this is your moment to come forwards. And if I could ask the two of you to please stand. So we've come to the point in the ceremony when Deborah's hand will be given in marriage to her partner, and today that honour falls on Bob. So Bob, are you happy for Deborah to spend her life with Stuart, and you welcome Stuart into the family?
I do.
So if you'd like to shake Stuart's hand as a welcome in the family, and maybe a little peck on the cheek to say welcome. Lovely. Thank you. I knew that was going to go well because we rehearsed that. So we've now reached the moment for the declaration that you're both free to marry. And it is my duty to remind you that the vows you're about to make are solemn and binding, and should not be entered into lightly nor lightly set aside. And I'm going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you know of no lawful reason why you may not be joined in matrimony to each other. Stuart, we start with you, so if you please repeat after me. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Stuart James Mitchell, may not be joined in matrimony to Deborah Ann Hawkes. Deborah, now you know how it's done. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Deborah Ann Hawkes, may not be joined in matrimony to Stuart James Mitchell. So you've both stated that you're free to marry. That's the first part of the marriage vows, public declaration. And I'm happy to say that this is the part where you should begin to relax, because you've said the three complicated words, solemnly, impediment, and matrimony. There are no more complicated words to say. And this next vow is the one that you're saying to one another. So I suggest you maybe put the flowers down on hands. And if you turn and face each other and hold each other's hand, because this is the vow that you're saying to each other. And Stuart, we start with you, so if you please repeat after me, but this time you're just speaking together. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Stuart James Mitchell, do take thee, Deborah Ann Hawkes, to be my lawful wedded wife, to live together in love and harmony, to cherish and care for you, whatever the future may bring. And Deborah and Axel, I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Deborah Ann Hawkes, do take thee, Stuart James Mitchell, to be my lawful wedded husband, to live together in love and harmony, to cherish and care for you, whatever the future may bring. So you've made your vows, that declaration to everyone, and then the promise to each other. This brings us to the exchange of rings. Historically, wedding rings have meant different things to different cultures, but today, here in Hampshire, at the wedding of Stuart and Deborah, I offer this thought to you. The wedding ring is an unbroken circle. It has no beginning and no end, and so it symbolises unending and everlasting love, and is an outward sign of the promises that you're making to each other. Stephen, I know you've got the rings there.
I'll do it.
So now if we may have the purple bag first. Lovely. So that will be the second one. And now if we can have...
That one?
That's the one.
Give me a minute.
Okay, thank you for that, Stephen.
I've done. I've done and done. I've done.
The bags were done. I think you've got that right. So,
It's
that's the ring you're going to give to Deborah. So Deborah, if you have a look. So, yeah, that's slightly smaller. So then Deborah, if you hold out your left hand, and Stuart, hold the ring poised over Deborah's finger, and repeat after me, but address this to Deborah. I give you this ring. As a token of our marriage. And as a sign of our love. And place the ring on Deborah's finger. And Deborah, if you have the ring, you give it to Stuart. Stuart, if you hold out your left hand. Deborah, I think you have to hold that steady. I think you've got a bit of nerves. And if you repeat after me, but address this to Stuart. I give you this ring. As a token of our marriage. And as a sign of our love. Place the ring on Stuart's finger. So based on love, you can stay holding hands because you're almost married. Based on love, trust and honesty, marriage nurtures friendship and provides the framework for sharing both good and bad times, safe in the comfortable knowledge that support from each other is ever present. Your love and respect for each other has today been shared with your family and friends, and it now gives me the greatest of pleasure to announce that you are husband and wife. So in a few minutes I'll pass you over to Jane for the signing of the register. As we've got the flowers in, maybe what we could do is bring another chair round here, and then you can come and sit down this side. It's probably a good idea. And we ask that you don't take photos of this actual bit because we don't let people take photos of the register, but we will turn to a blank page and then let people take as many photos as they want. Unless the bride and groom's cheeks start hurting, then we have to stop.